As designers, we cannot live in isolation. Design is a practice that is centered around people and their needs in different contexts, be it social, cultural, economic, or geographical. As part of our study of social ecology, we aim to understand the unique ecology of the interconnected Kolhapur, Sangli, Miraj area by focusing on uncovering the lives of people who make up its core. Our objective wasn't a single defined goal set by one person. It was a culmination of our multiple different curiosities. Our exploration was driven by a focus of interwoven contexts of land, labor, dignity, and knowledge, and their relevance to the ecologies we experienced up close. Kolhapur, Sangli, and Miraj have a rich heritage of art, craft, and socio-cultural movements. The entire area is a bustling economy, with different types of labor visible everywhere that you look. The people themselves showcase a unique and intense pride in their culture that can only be a result of the social and historical awareness. A name that we constantly encountered was
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराज, छत्रपती संभाजी महाराज, छत्रपती संभाजी महाराज, राजर्षी शाहू महाराज, राजर्षी छत्रपती शाहू महाराज.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Rajarshri Shahu Maharaj, who contributed significantly to the city. The effects of their reign are still evident, beneficial, and acknowledged. As we spoke to the artisans themselves across various communities and castes, be it Kolhapuri chappal makers or sitar makers, the sense of fellowship that these practitioners have became evident.
The craft itself rests on the contributions of various communities from different parts of the country. A specific example that struck home to me was when my own state was mentioned. My ears perked up at the mention of Karnataka and how the leather for the famous Kolhapuri chappals is derived from different states than in which it is made. Even in terms of technical skill, the final products carry much more depth than we had originally anticipated. Speaking to craftspeople like Mohsin, a sitar maker, and Ravi, a chappal maker, helped us recognize how much expertise is required to produce the handcrafted pieces of art that we see and take for granted, often equating them to commercial products. Sachinji, a chappal maker, explained the process of leather tanning, minimizing leather waste and knowing which layer and thickness of leather should be used for which part of the shoe. These layers are glued with mud to ensure that an optimal elasticity of the leather is maintained. This also contributes to the cooling effect of these chappals on the body. Each chappal made molds itself to suit the person wearing them, setting it apart from any other footwear available in the market. Likewise, each sitar produces a unique sound that it inherits from the characteristics of its kaddu and wood. Each sitar passes through several hands on its way to completion, with each person specializing in a different part. This collaboration is an art that takes practice and expertise. Even stringing and tuning the sitars are a complicated and technical process. In fact, a musical performance doesn't start when the instrument is played. Rather, it begins at the tuning itself. Making these instruments is an art that has been refined over generations.
This knowledge is easy to overlook, because it isn't passed down through notes, textbooks, documentation, and exams like we are all accustomed to. Most of the artists we interacted with, both sitar makers and chappal makers, had learnt the craft over years by spending time in the workshop while their families were working. But this knowledge is dying. The reality is that fewer children are choosing to continue their family work. An artist I talked to even told me how he feels that he's losing his young ones to the corporate jobs. This environment was very different from the one we were used to. Factory manufactured clothing that passes through several different machines which only care about speed, scale, and efficiency seemed worlds apart when we were sitting in the workshop seeing the detail of handcrafted instruments. The slowness of the process struck me because it was such a wild but comforting contrast from the fast-paced world that I was used to, where commodification and commercialization of goods is the norm. In a world that seems hell-bent on modernization, these slow and delicate art practices are struggling to keep up. Can a small-scale chappal maker make space for his product when he's competing against industrial giants that manufacture shoes by the ton? Can the sitar maker compete with the electric instruments that can be programmed to play different kinds of sounds? It is up to us to ask ourselves whether this so-called modernization of our society is worth the cost of our rich cultural heritage. In a few decades, the uniqueness of these crafts and the knowledge to revive them could very well be extinct.
सांगली मिरज खूप